All right, guys, in the first video, we went over G90 absolute programming and G91 incremental programming. If you guys recall, G90 is coming off a fixed point, absolute zero, and G91 incremental will be moving, kind of resetting your zero from your last point. So you're incrementally moving from distance to distance, point to point from your last point. We're going to concentrate on G90, absolute zero for our programming. But probably the big question is, what exactly does this all mean? Well, when beginning a program, it's important to recognize the movements, the tools, and the machine are going to make. And that's what this next video is going to be on. It's going to be on G and M codes. Okay, so I just mentioned G and M codes, but what are these codes and what do they mean for our programs? Well, G codes are going to be cutting action and movement codes. The M codes are going to be on and off functions, miscellaneous commands. Okay. On, off, and miscellaneous commands. Okay, so how do we use these within our program, and what do they mean for our program? That's the big question mark. All right, so how do we use these codes within our program, and what exactly, how exactly do they work? Well, I'll start with the M codes, which I said were sort of on, off. Okay, so some examples of these would be M03, that is spindle on clockwise, or M08, that is coolant on, and then M09 would be coolant off. Right? So on-off codes for M codes, they're a little bit easier to remember, and we don't really, we're going to have them at the beginning of our program and mostly at the end of our programs when we're handwriting our programs. So just the main thing to remember is that they're on and off. You're going to be turning on the spindle. Eventually, you're turning off the spindle, turning on coolant, turning off coolant, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I spoke about M codes, and now about our G codes, which are going to be our cutting action and movements. One very important thing to know about G codes is that they are mostly modal. But what does that mean? Well, what that means is that they are on until turned off or until you change them. Turned off or change them. Which is very important. So we need to remember that. Our G codes are cutting action and movements. They are mostly modal, and they are on until turned off or we change them. And I'll give an example of that now. Okay, so an example of how the G codes are modal is going to be like this. So say we want to mill a line from 0, 0 to 5, 0. Okay, we want to go across here with a nice feed rate, nice consistent cuts, and everything is all hunky-dory. Well, if we go like this in the beginning of our program, we normally rapid to our positions. Okay, G00 is a rapid movement code. All right, so if we go G00, X00, Y00, we will show up over here. Okay, and I know it's supposed to be over there, but for this sake, let's just say it's right there. All right, now we want to smoothly cut over there. Well, if we don't change this G00 and we just go to X X 5.0, Y00, this tool is going to move at a rapid pace, rapid speed over to our position. And we don't want that. It's going to move way too quickly for the cutting action that we're looking for. So what we need to do is this. Let's clear this. We want to go 0, 0 to 5, 0. Here's our tool. And we want to go nice and easy. Okay. Say a feed rate of 10 thou. So if we rapid to our position, X0, Y0, we need to change this to a G01. With this is a linear interpolation movement, a line movement. So now we would go G01, X 5.0, Y 0.0, and we give it a feed rate. And now it's going to move this nice consistent speed across the workpiece at 10,000 inches per minute. And we're going to get the nice cut that we want. But the important thing to know is we have to put this following line, this G01, because G codes are modal. And if we do not change the following line, it's going to move at whatever speed of that command is. So if we wanted to go, say, up to 5, we want to go up there, and we just go, we keep this G01, X 5.0, Y 5.0. Our tool and the machine are going to move to this location at this speed. We may not necessarily want that. We may want to rapid away from the part, and that's normally what we do. Okay? So we need to remember the G codes are modal. All right, so this is going to wrap up this video. The first two are pretty short. Video 1, we went over G90, absolute programming, G91, incremental programming. Then we went over G codes, which are modal. These are cutting and movements. And then we went over M codes, which are going to be on, off, miscellaneous functions. Okay, so this is going to wrap up this second video. These are the points that we covered in video 1. This is video 2. And then I will put together a next video that will be program structure, commonly used codes, and safety lines, and then get into some CAN cycles with spot drilling and drilling. And then we'll put together a program. So stay tuned, and thanks for checking in.